Ordinary conversation is littered with metaphors, most of which are out of awareness. In fact, it's hard to put together a sentence which does not contain a hidden metaphor. In the 1980s, George Lakoff and Mark Johnson's analysis of common metaphors created the foundation for the cognitive linguistic revolution. They said, the essence of metaphor is understanding and experiencing one kind of thing in terms of another. At the same time that Lakoff and Johnson were discovering the general structure to metaphor, David Grove was recognizing the significance of personal metaphors in therapy. He developed clean language to respect and value the role an individual's metaphors and symbols play in organizing their experience. And more than that, a metaphor provides a window into the structure and framing of another person's inner world. This is what David Grove called their metaphor landscape.
Recognizing both verbal and nonverbal metaphors is vital to symbolic modeling, and to get good at it takes practice. We learn to sensitize our metaphor detectors to both the subtle and implicit metaphors embedded in everyday language by practicing offline. Here are a few ways we did that. One way to know if an expression is metaphorical is to ask yourself, is the speaker describing something that actually exists in the physical or behavioral world, or is it like something? So if they say, there is a gold nugget in my heart, you can be sure there is not a piece of gold in there, but it seems like there is to the client.
Also, we used to scan newspaper articles. The financial pages are full of metaphors. Markets crash, economies grow, and we have inflation. We read client transcripts and we listened to the radio. Today it would be podcasts. And we picked out the most obvious metaphors. Then we'd start all over again, go through them for the more subtle metaphors. And then we'd ask ourselves, how did we know those were the metaphors? For example, a client said, so what I'm hoping for is a stopgap that when I'm feeling like a rebellious teenager, I have the presence of mind to breathe, to be calm, and to tune in. Well, clearly, rebellious teenager is a metaphor, but did you also notice stopgap, presence of mind, and tune in?
We all use embodiment to sensitize our system to metaphor. We'd practice doing or physically modeling the metaphor using micromuscular movements. So if someone says, I run away from fear, we'd use our body to make micromuscular movements that replicate running away. Or we would draw a simple schema that represented the spatial and temporal relationships implicit in the metaphor.
So the aim of practicing offline is for your system to develop automatic signals for when a metaphor is spoken in real time. When you get this signal, then you have a choice to pay more attention to the metaphor than you might have done. Since recognizing metaphors is definitely a learnable skill, take it from me, we hope you would join us at the ANLP conference and see metaphors in action.